All right, good morning, everybody. Let me go live on Twitch now. I should be actually kind of loud, as a matter of fact, I think. And this might be the best I've ever sounded. See, did I just distort when I laughed? Logitech on B, one of the better ones. Yeah, it is true. Somebody, Mark Minervini says, when you judge, you don't define the person you are judging. You define who you are. You tell the world that you are arrogant, presumptuous, and insensitive to the things you don't know about someone. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Everyone you meet does things you would never imagine about them. You know little about others. Try managing your own life. Perhaps you will inspire someone. Have a beautiful evening. I'm going to play tennis, eat dinner, and then spend time with my family. Okay, so that's what Mark said. Mark Minervini. Way true. We should always start with a trader quote. I mean, that one just happened to be yesterday, last night. But we should always start with a trader quote, don't you think? All right, so I'm on Twitch. There we go. And yeah, I'm on Twitch now too, Randy. All right, good morning, everybody. We've got 20 minutes till the market opens. And I pulled up a couple of things that I saw moving, but there may be more. OKLO is moving from yesterday. And there was this other one. Yeah, Nix and Staff. Might as well keep an eye on them. Nix and Staff. Live and learn. Yeah. PRQR has held well. Like, okay, yesterday PRQR went up, and it hasn't gone much further. Like it hit almost $4, and then it dipped into 3, and then all day it got it back up to 4 and after hours, and now it's back to 350. But that's meaningful. Like, I'm trying to teach you guys fucking something. I'm not just saying it held well. That is meaningful. Held well is something. So this holding well, you could, up to this point, you could say that it, got a higher low, but it could easily move around and hold well more today. But it just means that there's not a lot of downside, and that if there is downside, have a stop. Cut when the stop hits. But if there's not downside, if there's upside potential, if there's reward probability, then you've got yourself a nice little setup, right? I have not even looked at the stock to see if there's upside potential. I'm teaching you something. All right? I don't give a fuck about PRQR. I'm trying to teach you. If the stock has held well yesterday, a particular level, in this case it was 3, and then it holds well throughout that whole day, and then perhaps closes strong, which it did, and then moves up in after hours and holds well, it's completely natural for it to sag back in pre-market today, the day later, so long as it's holding levels. And what it's doing is it's holding its power hour lows, if you will. This was like power hour yesterday for 2 hours, trading to the close here. So do you understand? Do you understand, people? This is a good sign. Now, if you look at the daily chart for it, you can see this is a hell of a candle and catalyst candle, PRQR. And volume-wise, down here we got the volume spike. We haven't seen a volume spike like that since 2022, December, Christmas of 2022, so like a year and a half ago. Before that, in fact, this is a level it hasn't even been to since February of 2022. From here, if this thing has reward potential, it has the potential to retrace all the way up to probably around 6. This pivot right here, the 6. It's going to try with all this energy and the momentum. It's got to push to the most important pivot, looking left, and that pivot was in February of 2022. It doesn't matter. It's not about PRQR. I'm teaching you something. So you got $6 upside target with multiple partials you can take along the way, and you've got like it's at 350 right now and a $3 stop, maybe 290 if you want to just be safe, for 280. So that's 70 cents of risk at 350 to $6. 6 minus 350 is $2.50. $2.50 divided by 70 cents of risk. That's a 3.6 to 1 reward to risk ratio on a stock that seems to be holding well. So that's a trade. That's a risk opportunity, you know. So if you think it's going to go any lower from here at 348 is where it is right now. If you think it's going to go any lower, wait on it. Don't buy it right now in pre-market. Let it fail out a little bit on the market open and pick it up. Set your stop conservatively to 280. You can see that, how the levels have been holding. The power hour low, 280 is, a very reasonable stop. The power hour, because it also uses the psychological key level of 3, but the power hour lows were like 335. So you make it like, 330. It just depends on, how aggressive you want to be. If you did that, then obviously 330 stop and it worked, and it's at 350 right now. That's a 20 cents of risk for $2.50 of upside. So that's a 12 to 1 trade. And, you don't need to try for a 12 to 1 trade though. Give yourself some buffer. So anyway, I'll probably take that though. So do you understand? Do you understand, guys? That's how it works. You find a trade opportunity. What is it? Is it a day trade? People who are listening. No. Oh no, you were not. Nobody answered. Oh, it's not a day trade. It's a swing trade. You get in, you put a nice wide stop at 280. You expect it to go back up to $6 at best. And guess what? It might not. Boo fucking who. But for, what did I say? 3.6 to 1? Do you know how often that trade, do you know what the probability of that trade needs to be for it to break even in the long run? Well, I'll tell you. 27% of the time. In other words, 75% of the time this trade doesn't work out, it's still profitable to go for it. But those are good signs. Other things you want to look for are the bid and the ask tight. That'd be nice. You want the bid and the ask tight. That means the liquidity is there. That means the interest is there. That means the demand is there. That means this demand is outweighing the supply. That means they're smashing up against each other. Things are tight. Liquidity is good. I can tell you right now, in pre-market, the bid and the ask is 349 by 351. It's 2 cents wide. Not bad for pre-market on day 2 after it was a hot stock yesterday. In other words, old news. You could have gotten into this yesterday at the close of the market at $4, but you can get into it today for $3.50. Stop at 280. Now, if there was something else going on right now, we'd be running after that. We'd be watching that. But, hopefully you just learned to fish. I'm not here every day, am I? And when One day I'll be dead, and you better teach others. You better teach others. I was just checking a message I just got. So that's how you figure it out. But guess, like, if you're looking at this chart and it goes to 6, right? It goes to 6. That's the realistic target. And is it at 25% chance? Probably it's better than that. Maybe it's about 30 or 35, maybe even 45% chance based on the way it's been zooming. In fact, it could hit that today. But I could be in it for weeks. For instance, I'm in let's find something to show you here. I'm not in much anymore. PCT. Boy, I've been in this for a long while. Look, I've been in PCT. It did something like that, right? And I'm like, oh, it's probably going to go back up to the pivot. This point here, this is what I'm looking for. This is my ultimate target, $12 on PCT. This whole trade was to go to $12. So I got in. The next day it followed through. The next day it followed through. Looking good. I took lots of partials along the way. It's been holding. It's been holding Gamma. It's been holding a moving average. It's all the way back up. It's starting to make more progress. I've been getting more and more partials out. I'm up 48% on the trade. How long have I been in it? 35 days. So, is what were we looking at? Is PRQR going to go up to 6 today? I don't know. I mean, sometimes they do, man. Sometimes they do. On that one day, they just go freaking crazy. But sometimes they don't. Doesn't matter. It's a trade. It's a trade, man. You put it on. All right, roger that. Okay. So we'll probably grab I'll probably grab PRQR for check the volume. I mean, the volume yesterday, it seems pretty good. I'm going to go for A setup, although I would call this more of like a B plus setup, guys. So maybe that's what I should do. Follow my own advice. And I'll locate between 0.5% and 1% R. So I can dial that in over here. PRQR. And that would be, let's see. So that's 0.75 R. Okay. And the risk unit from 350 is 70 cents. So that says I should get 787 shares. This is the kind of thinking ahead you got to do, guys. That's from 350. If this were to dip down to 3, I still would want my stop to be 280. Maybe I would make it 270 just for a little extra padding if it went to 3. And then I'd have a 30 cents risk instead of 70 cents. And I'd know mentally that that's roughly a little bit more than twice as many shares now that I could get, because my risk unit is more than half the size of 70 cents, which is 35 cents. It'd be 30 cents. So on the fly, you just, you got to be able to do some of this math like that. You got to be able to figure these things out. And you do need to use the A, B, and C sizing techniques. And you do need to use progressive exposure, which is, I taught in Masterclass. By the way, we got Masterclass tonight. Should be good to go, although I'm telling you, I'm not really feeling the air conditioning. If the dude didn't do exactly a great job on the AC. But I'll tell you what, I'll just have a glass of ice cold water here tonight. Also, I'm drinking hot coffee, so. All right, if you notice anything, if you see something, just like the New York subways, if you see something, say something. All right, people? If you see something, say something. You need to find opportunities here. That's what we are. I mean, there's 15 to 20,000 tickers every day available to us. There's probably more than that when you count the OTC, NASDAQ, NYSE, ARCA, and all the different exchanges that people list themselves on. Okay, Google, how many stocks are there? Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, I figured Google wouldn't know the fuck. Let's try Chat GPT. Chat GPT is such a bummer. How many stocks are there in the entire U.S. tradable universe across all exchanges, including OTC? That's not true. Oh, and the OTC markets. Okay. The U.S. market currently has close to 6,000 tradable stocks, and then OTC has like 10,000 to 15,000, about 12,000. So 12,000 plus 6,000, about 18,000. Does that line up with what I said? Yes. Is what I say always true? No, but it's pretty goddamn well informed. I do my best to be truthful and genuine, and yet I can be wrong about things. So in any event, though, you can trust me. I mean, I'll make mistakes, but I'm here to give you the best advice. So when I say there's, what did I say? 15, 20,000 stocks out there. It turns out there's about 18,000. So I was pretty damn correct about that. Oops. No, what did I just do? Did I just freaking delete? Okay, good. No, I didn't. I moved a pane above. Now we have volume above. It's kind of cool. We're going to learn a lot about volume in Masterclass tonight, I believe. I think we're going to focus heavily on that. If anybody watching out there on any platform, wherever you are, we're streaming on multiple platforms. If you want to attend tonight's masterclass on day trading and swing trading and focusing on volume to inform your holding and taking profiting and de-risking more, then click the link in wherever it is to come to our Discord trading group. And once you're in there, you just get a free trial. You have a whole week for free. You don't even have, you can just set it and forget it. It's not one of those things that's going to turn into a payment. You can just do a free trial and then do the masterclass tonight. It's only once a week and it's tonight, typically a 3-hour masterclass in trading where I just give you, my finest wisdom from 25 years experience trading. I tell you, I think that air conditioning is blowing hot air. Let me go feel it. No, it's blowing cold air. I guess it just isn't a refrigerator. All right, so we have 2 minutes before the market opens. And I'm sweating like a pig. I got in something yesterday. Oh, yes, OKLO. So I do need to make sure I keep an eye on OKLO off the open. PRQR is a swing trade we're looking to get into today based on what I was just telling you. It has energy. It feels like it's having a tough time following through on it, But that was yesterday and pre-market, and that might be a little bit more today and tomorrow. But getting in around here could be the right thing for a swing trade on PRQR. Nick's staff PRQR. Yeah, we don't need to watch that one. There's OKLO. Every day, Randy, I pretty much enter anew my position closers on PCS open positions. Like, for instance, VRT now is at 81%. See, I have good till cancel orders on them, but not anymore because they hit. And I usually only do those for one out of however many contracts I have, so that when they hit, I can get back in there, set another one. But if you're not around, you're not going to be around your trade desk at all times, then yeah, you should probably set some good to cancel orders. But actually, what I do is if I got to go do something for the day, I try to be there for the morning market open, and then I set a order for the day. And tomorrow, rinse and repeat. But I'm fairly present around my trade desk. But if you're not, then yeah, you go ahead and set those good to cancels for all of your contracts. Or you could try a tapered version. Say you have 3 contracts, you could try a good to cancel at 51% max profit, and then another one at a couple cents more and a couple cents more. They'll all swipe that one good day. Thought on NXL. We don't have time for that right now. 9. Okay, with the market's opening in 5 seconds. And there was a weird echo earlier. Oh, that was coming from the Twitter post. Okay. Yeah, that's true. TSM is up today. This could be an entry day on TSM for a put credit spread. But it's like, is it gonna be green? Yeah, it looks like it probably will. Yeah, I'm gonna get some TSM here. A PCS. If it pays. And the liquidity is there. Find out the 185, 180. It does. All right. So I'm gonna get. I have to get about right. Maybe I should get one less contract. 4 contracts. SM. That's a little under my risk. No, that's exactly my risk. Okay. Let's go while I still can. Yes. All right. Okay, I got a fill on TSM right here. December 20th. 185, 180 for $1.07. And there is my break-even line. All right, so that's set and forget. Man, the volatility can drop fast after earnings. So, if you think it's going to hold, it's good to get in now. Actually, you can get a better price now, as I see. So if you want to get December 20, 185, 180 put credit spread, there you go on TSM. All right, looking back at PRQR. See, it's pulled down. Wow, actually, it's at 350 now. Okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to grab that allocation I was talking about. PRQR. What just happened? It didn't send my order. Didn't I click buy market? Yeah. Is it halting? Why am I not getting filled? That's weird. Is this a OTC? No. It must be halting. What is going on? I have a market order here on the books. Wow. That That took a long time to fill. That could mean it's really crowded or very low float. What is the float on this? No, it's 51 million. Right, well, it is what it is. I'm already up.
SGD. IONQ. DCTH.
Wrong about that. $157 up already? That seems too quick. Something's... I don't know, there's some weird stuff going on there. All right, well, anyway, let's diagram that trade. PRQR, I'm in for the swing trade.
LEU. ASTS.
PRQR just came across the squawk. Did you hear that? So I got in at 352, guys, and this is my entry.
SGD.
That's my break even. And my stop. Can anybody remember what my stop is? What's the stop on PRQR? You don't have to correct the word thoughts. Don't worry about that.
9 hours 37 minutes and 54 seconds. ASPI. UUUU. STEC. ALAR.
Nobody remembers the stop? Still A. Okay. In the meantime. Right, there we go. PRQR, do your thing. Now, I do want to set my profit targets on that, but let's see if there's anything else moving at the open that we got to pay attention to, that we want to consider getting into. PRQR, NIX. Oh, OKLO is dropping off the side of a cliff. I got to go get rid of that, I believe. OKLO, where are you? All right. Latin. No good. OKLO trade over.
DCTH. SMR. HUM.
And then, okay, got OKLO.
ALAR. IRDM. VS.
And then staff is moving up. Needs to reprove itself. Hasn't even really proven itself.
UUUU.
Not doing anything. Pixie. What's going on with this one? Pixie. We haven't seen that until now.
UXIN.
Okay.
MLX may resume in less than a minute. IRDM. SOUN.
Yeah, that's pretty good volume signature pre-market. But once it opened, all it's been doing is breaking down. Okay, we'll keep an eye on it though. Pixie.
ASPI. NIVF. ELV. VS. HUM.
TVM, MTEM, and Brea. Staff with a lot of energy. Staff may have halted. Matter. We trade patterns. And yesterday I got bit in the butt on ATNF by getting in an extended period instead of in a pullback, an extended area instead of a pullback. Always remember, wait for the pullback.
ILLR may resume in less than a minute. Pixie halted. PIXY will resume at 9 hours 41 minutes and 4 seconds.
PIXI halted? What? Down. Okay. All right. Okay, TSM is moving up. And did I get the wrong kind of spread here? Nope, I did it right. For some reason, my put credit spread is down from my entry. So I was thinking maybe I got it upside down. TSM. No, okay, the stock is moving down a little bit. All right, that's fine. Because I'm in this for a while here. There is a dividend. on December 12th on TSM, by the way. Staff, let's keep an eye on staff. PRQR is doing just fine. Let's keep an eye on staff. Who got into the PRQR trade? This isn't an insane asylum, although it could be if you want. You need to communicate with me. 270, said Randy. Okay, good. Okay, I'm finally signed in. Shit, I meant to drop my 50% on TSM, but forgot and I hit it at the open. Oh well, at least I'm up 50. Damn, that was a big mistake. That was a bad mistake. Shoot. Man, you were sitting on something you could have got twice as much money. Randy, that was a bad mistake. If there's something that you want today, like whether that's to go fishing on the boat or steak, ice cream, coffee, to go out, to do something, make sure you punish yourself and do not do that thing. I absolutely mean that. You need to teach your brain how to be better. And that's how you're going to do it. Otherwise, you're going to be the same. That'll never go away, man. You need to punish yourself for that. That was a bad mistake. Just letting you know. I'm trying to get you to be a better trader. All right. Staff is moving. Not a, staff is up 280%. Well, it was up about 300% at one point. And it's trying to do what it did yesterday. I gotta be careful. Unity had a big move down.
May resume in less than a minute.
Something's not right here. Oh, okay. Those are my put credit spreads. Okay, that's not accurate. There we go. All right, keeping an eye on everything here. Now, PRQR, I guess we have time while we're watching staff make its move. Volume on staff. All right. All right. We're going to use this opening market open signature here as left side on staff. And then we'll see how the pullback is. Maybe we'll get an entry. In the meantime, staff over here. I need to make that a little bit bigger. Here we go. Meantime, let's go look at profit targets on PRQR trade here. So we know we basically want to be 50 to 80% out by $6. Dollars. We could put something around 597, and we know we probably want one around 497, and we're currently at almost 4. But let's divide that up here to 547 and 447. 397, might as well take that. So that would give us 50% out. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orders to $6. That would take us 50% out, and I'd like to be more like 60, 70, 80% out by $6. So that means I need more. I need more orders, and I'm going to favor current price more. So I'm going to put another order at 422. That'll make me 60% out. 472. That'll get me 70% out by $6. And should be good. 70% out sounds good. All right, that's it. Oh, you know what? I set those as day orders. You guys didn't tell me that? Come on. You should see that right there. It was set as day order. You know we don't. Should be good till cancel. Okay, we're getting too deep of a pullback on staff. This is why we wait for pullback for entries.
Pixie halted. PIXY will resume at 9 hours 46 minutes and 25
Yeah, Pixie's halted down again. You. All right, we're probably gonna hit first profit, take profit on PRQR in a minute here. This is a swing trade. You know, it could be a month. This trade, and we're already up 11%. Who's in PRQR with me? But you see what I'm talking about? That was a plan. That's how you got to trade. That's how you got to put on swing trades. These are animals. These are living, breathing things. Would you go in and bet, on a particular animal, but they had pre-market viewing of the animal so you could see what its behavior was, and you said, I don't give a fuck? Or would you show up and would you look at the chart in pre-market and check its behavior and factor that into how you want to play that animal? You know, whether or not, okay, we're about to, there we go. Here comes the bling. About to take my first profit. There it is on PRQR. So now I'm 10% out on PRQR and I'm up 13%. You know, you guys have lots of questions like, when do you raise your stops? You know, and it depends on if it's a swing trade or a day trade. Okay, we just hit $4 on PRQR. You're going to see a heavy reaction at a key psychological number like that. If you don't, that'd be unusual. So, you know, you can expect some serious testing of the faith bouncing off of a key level like that. Anyway, you guys always have questions. When do you raise your stop? You know, how do you add to a position? You need to just shut up and make sure you aren't losing money. Those are all great questions, but it's very important for you to just, number one, don't trade. Like, if you're asking those questions, number one, you shouldn't be trading. You should be learning. And you can use paper trading. There's probably a 90% chance that you're not going to make any money. You're going to lose your money. No, it's probably a 100% chance. You may make money at the beginning, and that'll just be enough to trick you into losing money. You guys, let's go analyze the volume on PRQR just for the fun of it. See what we can figure out. So I bought on the dip on PRQR right at 352. It dipped and then started to show strength. I was hoping I could get a better price, but I did not. And there was there was not a ton of magic to that, other than there was a ton of wisdom to that. It was not necessarily a technique, other than it reclaimed the open and was showing energy. So you can't just take that and go, so if the thing reclaims the open and has a lot of energy, you should get in. Good luck with that. Trading is a multi-textured, skilled, intelligent process. And you can have a coach like me or anyone. But Michael Jordan was not a coach. All right? And, Michael Rudd, not a coach. He might be a player, but you guys haven't heard of him. Why? Didn't have the talent to become an incredible basketball player. But I can tell you this, that trading is exactly the same thing. You don't just put money into a brokerage, buy the same tennis shoes, pick up a basketball, and be great. Doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if you understand the concepts. You need to hit the court. You need experience. You need to learn how to deal with failure and how to push through it and have success. And it's a multi-textured thing. It's not so simple. And you've got to get skilled at it and you've got to get good at it. Oh, but I am. Yeah. I knew that was coming. Well, I haven't heard of you. Which team are you with? That's funny. So anyway, look at that. PRQR continuing. Why did it continue? Because it had a high probability of that could happen. Why did we put money on it? Because it had a high probability that could happen. How did we know that? Because we looked and we saw what I told you. Because it held well. It closed strong. It held levels well. It pushed up strongly from a dip this morning at the open. We planned that trade out to a fucking T. I'm talking about I got 787 shares. How exactly well did you plan that trade for you? Did you just get 100 shares? Did you get 10? Did you get 50? Did you get 1,000? Did you get 500? I can tell you, your plan is not good enough. You should know exactly how many shares you need to buy. This isn't a guessing game. Not when you know what to do. Once you know what to do, there's, you can still guess, but you can start with, some really great, excellent guesstimations. You want to be within the realm of consistency so that what you do, you've done 1,000 times so that statistically the probabilities work out for you. If you don't, and you're like, I'm going to take this sloppier stock here. I'm going to get in with a, random size here. I'm going to not set a stop on this one. Maybe I'll turn this one into a swing trade. I'm down, but I'll just hold it for a while. This one I'll double down on. This one, you're all over the fucking map. You need one thing that you do precisely every time. Every time. Without fail, without mistake, on repeat as a system over and over and over and over. So that you get the correct probabilistic end result of that, what's called EV, expected value, expected return. What's that? You're up. What was it? I'm paper trading PRQR. Oh, nice. With you. But I set my first profit point at 420. Okay. Is that too high? Maybe. It depends. Were you not listening? I said, take partials up to $6. Do you feel like you're not taking advantage of the move? If you are, then your partials are too big. You can just spread out your partials. I said be 50 to 80% out by your probabilistic target, which is $6. And by the way, you need to figure all that out that I just said by yourself. Like, you can trade this with me. But, you need to learn how to turn on the car, let alone sit in the seat, let alone push the pedal. You can't just do what I do. So, you got to get over to PRQR and you got to realize, I should probably set my stop here based on the previous stage. Oh, this is pretty strong. Oh, this could have follow through. Oh, $6 looks like where it's headed. Just sneezed. And then you got to say, okay, I want to be, mostly out by then, because that's the trade. That's the setup. If it goes further, it goes further. But that's further. You're not in it for that necessarily. You're in it to be mostly for the meat, which is to the $6 point. You got in at 350 like me, then and $6 is the final exit. I put 7 exits from 350 to $6. They're all divided fairly equally. My next one is at 422. I already took one at 397. At 422, I will be 20% out. And that's on day one. This isn't a day trade. Oh, gotcha. Yes, sir. Yeah, I thought so, Randy. I thought you kind of maybe missed the explanation on that. I believe you can rewind it. At some point today, you can review that if you want. There it is. There's my second exit on PRQR. 20% out on PRQR, and I'm up 20%. That's just a coincidence, by the way, guys, people. The amount that you're up isn't necessarily supposed to equal the amount that you're out. That's just a coincidence. Don't worry about that. I swear that air conditioning is blowing warm air. Let me see.
CLIK.
PHUN.
CANG.
ELV. PRQR. ASPI.
All right, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. So, Randy, you might want to review that now, before it's too late. Get on top of all that. It is 5 minutes before the top of the hour. And isn't it funny, you guys, that there's a bunch of stocks up today that weren't even on the radar yesterday? There was a bunch of stocks up today. None of them I liked. I didn't like any of them. Nix, Staff, Brea, OKLO failed out, Nixum or something, Pixie, Nutse. All of these were up. Everyone's got those on their radar. They're up 150%. Everyone's going along in there. They're getting in there, and they're all failing out. Well, and I didn't like any of them. And what did we talk about? Something that today is not up. It's actually down. Yesterday closed at $4. This morning it opened at $3.50. It's down. On people's radars, that's down. But what did I notice? PRQR held well yesterday. This is kind of like excellent, intelligent information you can get after the fact. This is why many great trades happen after the move. The moves happen after the move. Everything else failed out. Everything else. I don't know what I just got there. I just got something filled. But isn't that interesting? What did I say this morning? PRQR. I didn't pick it because I thought it would be hot, right? You guys were here with me talking about it this morning. I thought maybe it'll move in the next few months. In the next month or two, But what's obvious is that it has the potential, you see, and it becomes a trade. At this point, I am. Oh, that was my next take profit. I am now 30% out. I'm now 30% out on this trade, and it's day one. It's supposed to be a swing trade. I have a differential between my open profit and my total profit of $170, which means even if it comes back down to break even, if I were to cut all out, I've captured $170. I've skimmed off $170 of profit so far. I'm up 630, but I'm still in 500. And so that means I've got 170 I've captured. All these numbers that I'm quoting you are changing in real time. But roughly, so you understand. So, but as this goes along, it becomes more and more fruitful. Now, another thing to think about, this is interesting. Listen up, another educational piece of information. If you go in for whatever size and you're taking partials, and then it comes back and then you get out. Let's say it comes back to break even. That's the easiest math we could do. Then however many shares you got partials on, that was really your original position size. Does that click for anybody? Does that change how you view things? In other words, you get in for this bundle of shares, but you don't expect all of them to work out. But so long as some of them work out and you protect the rest of them, then you got in for the amount that worked out. And the other ones were just sort of backup plan. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't mean, now don't do this. Now that doesn't mean you should go and get 10 times as many shares as you as you should, and then start taking partials, and then if it comes back to break even, get out. But that is not a bad plan. The only problem with that is that if it doesn't work out right away, then you have 10 times your risk going down, and you're getting screwed. So that's why you don't necessarily do that. But do you understand what I'm saying? Is that you're going to get a portion of what you get, resulting in a profitable trade. And the rest, if it doesn't work out, that's fine. What did work out was the part that worked out. Now, your trading software or your tracking software will say, because the rest of those shares came back down to break even, that you only made the average of the two, based on weighted by the different sizes. But that's not true. That's inaccurate. If you get out at break even, or even better, on the rest of your shares, then you actually made what you made on the shares that you took partials on and got all profits on. The other part was just hopeful capital just sitting there just in case. Does that make sense, everybody? So, in other words, like I'm 30% out on this. I'm almost 40% out. At 472 is my next exit. It's only 10 cents higher than the high. So I'm almost 40% out. Hello, does that make sense, everybody? Must be a big delay. Is there a big delay? I thought this was supposed to be like almost no delay. So even though I'm like 40% out, I'm 100% at profit on the shares that I'm out. You know what I'm saying? In other words, it's a completely profitable trade. And this also speaks to why, like Mark Minervini says, never let a profitable trade turn into a loss. Ever. Because if you can break even on the rest of your shares, if you've taken partials on the profitable time that you've been in the trade, you've taken some partials, then you actually made money. It's like you risked a little bit less. It's like you had a smaller trade, but that's fine. That's like a jab in boxing. It's just like doing a jab, or even like just like a testing move, and it makes money. It's more like a jab, doing something. Is there any questions about that? So I'm going to go off the air now. So if you have any questions about this concept of that, your trade is profitable as long as you're taking partials. So, Randy, maybe you should divide your order up into 20 parts so you can get more granularity. You should definitely get granularity, because what if you set it into 3 divisions? Then you don't have as much control. You understand? Like, think of it this way. Here's an interesting thing. What if you set up 30 exits? You divided your exits into 30 parts, right? And the move moves, and you got that, your last, you got maybe 40% out, and you're on the 17th order, whatever that is, 17th order up there, and it hits the absolute top tick. Then it starts coming back, and it starts giving failure indications, and you decide to cut out, and it fails out on the day. It goes back to your break even. You already cut out because it was failing, but guess what? You could tell everybody that you hit the top tick, that you had a perfect trade, because the shares that didn't work out don't matter so long as they were profitable or break even. They were just plan B. Plan A was you successfully traded from entry to the very tippy top. You see? It doesn't matter that it was on a smaller size. It's money is money, right? Money is money. So, and a jab is just as good as a knockout. A bunt or a walk is just as good as a hit. They're very useful. They keep progressing the game. You don't have to go for a home run every time. Is PRQR going to work out? No idea. You understand? No idea. Are there probabilities there? Fuck yeah. I mean, it moved massive yesterday. You're out of your goddamn mind if somebody were to say, that's all she's got. Well, why the fuck did it move yesterday then? You see what I'm saying? So there's a certain probability there. And it could fail out 75% of the time. You could be wrong 3 out of 4 times when talking to somebody about that, and still be profitable. I mean, in this case, it's a 3.5 to 1. It was 27%. Actually, it's 1 divided by 4.5. 1 divided by 4.5. 22%. 78% chance that it's not going to work out is fine. You would break even. The rest, if it's better than a 22% chance to work out, then it's a profitable venture. But how much percent chance is it to partially work out? Much higher. Does anybody know what the probability chance is of this, of a, say, 22% chance of getting to $6? What would be the probability of it getting halfway only? Not only, but just getting halfway. What's the probability? Well, I should say, if it's 22% chance to get to $6, what is the percent chance of it getting halfway there? It's double. 44%. Now, that's not the best risk reward though. That's 1.75 to 1, not 3.5 to 1. So that's a 44% chance of 1.75 to 1. So there's different probabilities at play there. But the fact remains that I took out 30% already. And if that's the end of the trade, I mean, look at it. It's pulling back now for the first time. And that's the end of the trade. I got 30%. That's fine. Now, this is a great time. This is the first pullback. So this is a great time to look at how are the volume signatures on pullback. And they're quite high. They're too high. Over here, they're 75%. They're less than it. They're less than, but they're pretty strong. So this could be a deep pullback. Now I'm in it for a swing trade. But on a day trade basis, yeah, 44%. On a day trade basis, you probably would be looking at this and be close to cutting out soon. Maybe if it doesn't hold the moving average, or you could just cut out now because it came back underneath the low of the 5-minute candle there. You just call that a snip, right at, you should have gotten out, 20 cents higher at 442. But yeah, these volume signatures are not good. There's as many people selling as there were buying. The levels of selling are as strong as the levels of buying. Now on the 5-minute, it's a little bit better. The levels of selling are only about 75% of the levels of buying. But you want a 2-to-1, but it still works. It still works at 75%, but that's a bit strong. It's a bit strong. It's not strong. You understand? It's not strong, but it's not weak enough. And you should just be able to, we're going to look at that tonight in masterclass, but you should be able to just look at those volumes on the 5 minutes and then also on the 1 minutes. Get a surgical sense of things to understand the power. Okay, that candlestick is now in. So there's 2 red 5-minute candlesticks in the books there. It's not too bad because it's still within this top large candle. But if it were to break that candle on a day trade basis, it's like, yeah, you might want to be out of that. I'm in on this on a swing trade basis. My stop's way down at 280, remember. But on a day trade basis, you might get out at a pivot break like $4. It looks like $4 could be a spot to get out. But you should have been taking partials also all the way up to $6 swing trade. But if you were a day trading this, I don't know that you would be going for $6 in one day. Yeah, you couldn't really plan on that. You might have had, for a day trade, you might have had to set a smaller risk to stop, like 320 from your entry of 350, 30 cents of risk, and then follow one of the faster moving averages. We have the 8 EMA here, I think it is, or the 9, the 8 EMA. There's VWAP. So far, this thing is supported by VWAP. As long as it holds VWAP, that's a good sign. This next candle so far is projecting to be very low volume. That's an excellent sign. It's an excellent sign. TVGN, PRQR. Yeah, that's no good. Number one, it's only up 46%, so we don't even give a fuck. Number two, well, it probably was higher than that earlier, I should say. Probably was higher than that, or maybe it was like 70, 80%. So maybe it's good. But right now it's up to 47%. But look at this. After what would catch our eye and catch our interest, there wasn't even a follow-through candle. No follow-through candle up here. It kind of was here and here. But this was the big push. No follow-through. And deep, very high volume sell-off. That's no good. And what's happening now inside of that candlesticks range doesn't matter. Because once it gets back up here, it's going to be fucked again. Because that's what matters. You see what I'm saying? Does everybody understand that? So TVGN's no good.
BREA may resume in less than a minute. IONQ.
but I'll keep it up here somewhere. Oh, Nutsi is flying. Let's take a look at that.
PIXY. WCT.
Okay, see, now that one had a follow-through candle. See how that's better? And Nutsi is up 133% today. So that's good. And it had strong candle and then follow through. We like that. Now it's in a pullback pattern, and guess what? It's in a strong position. It's up high type flag. High type flag. But look at the selling volume. It's concerningly high. And this is the first thing you got to look at before you're deciding to get in. So how much trading needs to go on before you have a signal? A lot. You don't just guess. And these selling reactions to buying are too high. The capitulations, the selling is too high in relationship. And in 47 seconds, this candle, if it doesn't turn green, is going to be very red. There we go. All right, that's a good sign. If it can stay green, it'd be nice if it, got up above the open more and settled into the top half of itself by the time it closes that candle, or it's kind of hard to trust. It might turn red at the last second. And in the event, if it goes right now and go, bam, it keeps going, that's still part of the initial left side. And we haven't even seen how it truly reacts in pullback yet. You don't even get in till you've got pullback. So there's still some time to be watching Nutsi. If I say, has everybody got that? If you understood that, please answer.
NUZE.
Don't just be like, oh yeah, Randy speaks for me.
WCT.
He got it, I got it too. No, I want to know everybody who got it. I want to know I'm not dealing with a bunch of fucking idiots, right? Yes, I think so. Oh shit. I was a little too hard on you right at the last second there. Yeah. Well, Marcus, maybe you can show up to class tonight. That'd be cool. 9 o'clock. The AC's a little bit suspicious. Let's see what's going on here.
NUZE.
Now, if you were a scalper in a high frequency trading setup like Dash Trader, you could scalp some of these pops. Scalping pops, you'd only need like a 0.5 to 1. That's right, less than your risk in order to make money because it's so probable. But you'd be looking at, the 1 minute chart would be like your 5 minute chart, and the 10-second chart would be where you're scalping from. It looks like this. That's different. That's a different game. That's a different ball of wax. So Nutsi, you want to keep watching it and pay attention to the volume signatures on pullback to inform whether or not you're going to get in the trade. And then you got to say to yourself, am I swing trading this or am I day trading this? If you're day trading that, it's up to you where you put your stop. If you want to keep it nearby so you can have a high multiple and make a lot of money, but have a higher chance that it's going to get hit, and so you might not win and have a lower win rate. Or if you want to have a wider risk to stop and be more conservative and then make less of a multiple, but a higher probability of getting partials and the trade transpiring and letting it breathe so that it has a higher probability to transpire, then that's That's the way it is. Technically, you could do both. It's called trading around a core. You have a core idea, and then you can trade around that. You have two trades going on.
INOD.
Two trade ideas going on at the same time. That's kind of how you do. That's kind of how you do adding on to a position. Okay, looking at the volume signature Nutsi, we don't have one yet. We gotta keep watching it, but PRQR has put in one or two. Yeah, we put in a couple of 5-minute candles. See, notice how on PRQR the sell-off candles are lower than in proportion than on Nutsi was for a minute there. So we got about 60%, almost 50% by that second candle, and now it's dead. It's crickets. That's perfect. That's what you want. This is excellent. Crickets is good. You mean to say it's pulling back and selling off and it's not really that strong? Well, what does that mean? Remember what I tell you? Volume is your lie detector in the market or your truth detector. So if you have strong buying
NUZE.
and weak selling, it means selling direction down is a lie and up is the truth and the way of the Lord of the market. You see, so it's right in front of your eyes. Now, in the 1 minute, you get a slightly different picture, and you got to be concerned about those levels, those points, those price levels. Something about both those points that triggered a sell-off. It's this 450 level.
AAOI.
There's a lot of waterfall, action going on at 450. So there's just some decent selling going on up there. So next time it tests that area, hopefully it'll be less. Ideally, what you're looking for, Michael, maybe you remember this, is a VCP-like pattern. You want to see the retesting of these areas on lower and lower and lower volume, and tighter and tighter and tighter waves, and higher and higher and higher lows before it breaks out. If it does that, it's going to have a lot of power. All right, that's it for this morning. Hope you guys learned something and maybe made some money. All right. Have a good morning, everybody. I'm going to cut the stream there. I got to go do some things. I'll be back later, but not live. Not today. But we'll be back for Masterclass tonight. All right. See you there or be square. Don't forget to subscribe to our group, even on a trial basis for free, to come to class tonight. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for 3, sometimes 4 hours of just pure learning how to trade. All right. Have a good morning, everybody.